Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Darien. Welcome to another video. Today, watching my guy Tommy G. One of the only people I'll be watching for real. Tommy G. This is visiting the poorest county in America this season.
Poor that's gonna starve and die. It's not the rich. I think poor is somebody like me. It's a struggle every day.
You're struggling everything instead of just making gas money just to get through to work every day instead for that monthly.
The county is considered
It's too
first
loud.
or second poorest county in the United States of America, which we're not proud of.
That was yours?
Yeah. What happened?
It's all burnt down and
Well,
stuff.
came on about 3 o'clock in the morning. It was one of them things, I guess.
And he playing the sad Mr. Krabs violin music too. Stuff.
So that's poor.
It died or something? Why you?
Each year we journey to America's poorest county to connect with locals and see the realities of everyday life. This year, our focus turns to Owsley County, Kentucky, a community that's been covered by the likes
Owsley
of Huffington
County,
Post and
Kentucky.
Al Jazeera. Rural Appalachia, particularly Kentucky's coal mining regions, have long grappled with poverty. This region dominates the list of America's most challenging places to live, with 10 counties from this area making the top 25 in the country due to factors like life expectancy, poverty rates, and educational attainment.
Kentucky that cooked? Half y'all state is that poor, bro? What's up with y'all? Y'all ain't got nothing in Kentucky, bro.
The question is, why does this area struggle so deeply with poverty? I mean, we're talking about one of the most beautiful areas in the country, and it's a place rich with coal and natural minerals. But it's also an area with low soil quality, so not much farming, rugged terrain, so hard to access and expensive to develop in. It's landlocked, which means no access to ocean ports. And so while it does have terrain loaded with coal and minerals, the problem is rich investors and coal mining companies came into these towns and sucked them dry. They gave the Kentucky locals who broke their backs toiling in the mines some crumbs from the table and took the riches for themselves. And when the coal business dried up, these companies vanished, leaving behind widespread unemployment and a devastating rise in drug addiction. In this episode, we dive into Owsley County, speaking with locals, law enforcement, and even those involved in the drug trade to paint a portrait of life in this overlooked corner of America. Join us today as we explore the poorest county in the country. And to give some context, this episode was filmed over the course of 2 visits, one in 2022 and one in 2024. Here we go.
Before we get into the episode, I got an announcement for you. We know
I was about to say, like, what the heck? Tommy, he don't look this young no more.
mainstream
He look
media
all
is dog
young.
shit, but thankfully we
It's
got
prime
the
John Cena
alternative.
Tommy.
On my Patreon, you'll have access to videos like visiting the Chicago Trap House and talking to high-end car thieves. These episodes are not on YouTube, and if you think my YouTube is crazy, Patreon is on a whole nother level. Plus, for $7 a month, you get to be a part of one of the fastest-growing independent media movements in the country. Oh, and by the way, I also FaceTime some of you too. The link is in my pinned comments. I appreciate you guys, and now to the episode. Would you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Got one of the poorest counties in the country.
This is.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we start rolling?
Okay. We got one-way street all the way out the courthouse. The roads are bad. Local law enforcement don't want to do their job.
So what's missing from law enforcement? Like what kind of crimes are happening that they're not?
Drugs,
What kind of drugs? Like fentanyl?
meth, fentanyl,
Meth.
heroin, you name it.
And you said this is one of the poorest counties in the country. Is that,
Yeah,
that
these
kind
dudes
of like a
looking nutty,
reputation
bro.
that has?
It's always been that.
If your hair that slick but your beard that scruffy, bro, I don't trust you, bro. I ain't gonna
The
lie.
older generation didn't want no factories or nothing like that, so now the younger generation is paying the price for it.
So there's not really good job opportunities here.
You either work for the school board, courthouse, or the county. It's the only job.
So is there a high unemployment rate here?
Yeah.
And the people that are unemployed just they
If they're
collect?
on disability or live on food stamps and stuff like that.
And what percentage would you guess of the population is that of this town?
I'd say probably about 80% of it.
80%.
80%.
Wow.
80%? Damn. I need to move somewhere else.
Do you feel represented as an American?
You see
Yeah,
opportunity.
Trump was in, but not now, no.
So you felt like Trump kind of had small, like little town America's back, but not the current administration.
Yeah, he had the people's back. He didn't have the government's back.
What about this current administration makes you feel
A
underrepresented?
gallon of milk, $7 here.
So inflation is hitting people heavy. A gallon of milk is $6.
Yeah.
Is that Biden's fault? I don't know. Is it? Or is it just... Is it from Trump giving everybody money in 2020 and then like all that back burner stuff? Like, cause the economy was good back then. Then everybody got that free money, then that's when it started going up. When everybody started getting that free money. So was it really that? Or was it Biden? I don't know. Y'all gotta tell me in the comments.
That sounds crazy. How could a town like this recover and have a second wind to it?
Well, they got plenty of farmland. What do? Let some company buy something, build a factory, start some, give something for the youth to do. You know, other than school and running around the roads and hanging out their own craft.
So basically, because there's a lack of opportunities for the youth, they're running around getting into drugs, starting those young, and then that starts a cycle that's going to keep the city economically depressed.
Yeah.
You just
I moved out here when my boy got up to high school age, moved to Indiana, so he
have a better
had a
chance.
better chance. Now he's working up there and he's making $30 an hour in the factory.
That's damn
His
good.
wife's making $15 in that factory, so you know.
And it just feels like the opportunities here aren't there.
They're not here.
So if you were president of this country,
Say, you need to follow your friend, man. Talking about he made $30 an hour. You need to be on that same timing, bro.
what's one
It'll
thing
put you
would
onto the
change
job,
to
bro.
help a county like this?
I would lower the price of food, gas, give more job opportunities to people in the counties, not worry about big companies as much as they do and worry about small people.
So does it feel like the cost of living is getting so high that it just almost feels impossible to get ahead?
I go through $800 a month in food.
Wow. What
Damn.
percentage of the time would you say is into harder drugs?
How much do I? Bro, I don't know. I'd be.
I'd say probably
DoorDash is a
over
killer.
60%. I've literally sit on my front porch 3 o'clock in the morning and watch people walk down the middle of the highway in their underwear.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Any final thoughts or any advice for us going forward here? Is it sketchy here? Like,
Run.
is someone...
If they don't know you and you step on their property, they'll shoot first, ask questions later.
Wow. Well, thank you for that.
Kentucky is open carry. We need to watch
first
out.
question I have is, do you feel represented as an American? Do you feel like the government has your interest at heart?
Hell, I mean, look who we got as the president, Joe Biden. I mean, not that Trump was any better, but I mean, at least he was making stuff happen, you know. They're just running this country on the ground. I mean, look at inflation.
None of them are good.
gas prices. It's the poor that's going to starve and die. It's not the rich. I mean, it's dropping a bucket to them.
What is rich to you and what is poor to you?
I think poor is somebody like me. It's a struggle every day.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what rent goes for around here?
$750.
For how?
Is he on drugs, bro? Why he looking like that? He looking down like, dude. He like he about to nod off or something, bro.
How big of a house?
You
or a
got-
bedroom?
You
2 to 3
fidgeting too
bedroom
much.
mobile home, living room, kitchen, bathroom, washer and dryer. And
Okay.
then you got gas, water, electric, and trash. And then I got car payments, I got credit card bills, I got personal loan debt, I mean,
Does it feel like you're barely staying above water?
oh yeah, man.
Is there anything that you would like to say to the camera? I've got-
Yeah. Get Joe Biden out of office. Get Donald Trump back in, or somebody better than Biden.
Let's go down to the courthouse where there's probably a lot of characters hanging out. This is known as one of the poorest counties in America. Is that a reputation that people are aware of?
Yes. Some.
You got her toes out, man. Put them toes
What do
away.
you do for fun around here?
You have to travel out.
Yeah.
Go to Lexington or Jackson or somewhere.
There's nothing fun in the entire town.
Not a thing here.
Do people ride horses? Do they shoot guns? Do they play darts? Do they drink beer?
Beer. They drink beer and throw darts.
So you mentioned a lot of people are choosing not to work. Are a lot of businesses struggling to hire right now and they just can't fill a
They
position?
will hire somebody and then they just want to go home. They just kind of give up.
Pretty easy to quit, huh?
As soon as they get their first paycheck, they want to go back to the house.
Did you grow up here?
No, I've been here for 4 years.
So she's saying they do got opportunity, but they being lazy. See, but like, what you think these jobs paying though? They probably paying like $9, $9 an hour. That's something crazy. That's probably why they
I
leaving.
lost my woman. I watched her overdose and die. I lost my home. I lost my bed. You know what I mean? I lost it all here.
So what do people do around here?
Try to survive. That's it.
He look like White Boy 7th Street. No, he look like White Boy 7th Street.
Do you
OGs
feel
know who that
represented as
is.
an American?
No, I haven't even got a stimulus check yet.
Really? How did they miss you, man? That's Trump or Biden. If you're watching this, get this guy the stimulus check.
My stimulus check.
Hmm.
Checks. I lost $168,000 in one day.
How'd you do that, man?
Let's told it.
Was it cash?
Yeah. Used it.
I'm guessing you were running some sort of operation then to get that cash? Yeah. So were you like a known dealer in the area? Are a lot of people struggling here?
Yes.
Is people not eating around here? Is that bad?
Yeah. I mean, people's going through trash cans and dumpsters. You know what I mean? It's not to make money, just to survive. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. What would you do if you were president to change the situation in this town?
I would take a match and
If he was homeless, would you eat at the dumpster? Like, would you eat at the dumpster if he was homeless? I feel like I would, bro. I honestly would. Like if you that hungry, like imagine you that hungry, you ain't ate in days, like days, and you see like a half of a junior bacon cheeseburger sitting there. I'm slamming that John. I'm slamming that John. I ain't gonna
Log
cap.
gas or something, and I'd set fire to it.
What kind of cases do you encounter around here?
Just the warrants and stuff. People gets on them, and people non-child support, drug heads, and people on meth and things like that.
Is meth a big issue around here?
Oh,
Hair lip
it's
crazy.
bad.
Yeah.
It seems like he just keeps getting worse and worse.
And how do you see the cycle getting better?
I believe in everything and stuff. People's help and stuff with each other and stuff, and then these rehabs and things that helps a whole lot too.
Okay. So this is known as one of the poorest counties in America. Why do you think?
Why you look like that classic cop that just like sitting in the car, somebody doing a crime, he put that donut in the box, started to get up and get up real fast, bro. He looked like he just a cop in the car eating a donut. I want to hear it. He just remind me of that. I don't know.
I think it is that way.
You don't remind me of all that?
On everything and stuff. I mean, there ain't much in this little community and stuff really and things.
He's sitting out, he eating that donut in the
Do you
cop
think there's
car.
enough job opportunities for people here?
There are several jobs and things, a few that people could actually work and stuff if they want to work, but
People are just choosing not to work.
several people just don't want to work. That's a lot to do with the generation stuff. Well, there's some that want to work stuff, and there's some that don't want to hardly do much work because they rely on the government and stuff.
So welfare systems?
Yeah.
Do you feel represented as an American?
Yep, I feel pretty good. Yep, I'd like to feel pretty good and stuff.
Do you feel like the government has your best interest at heart? Because I feel like some people feel like small town America is overlooked.
Well, I know they try to help everything the best they can and stuff. Seems like it to me, but I mean they can only do so much. We got to try to do the rest.
So you're about to slap some cuffs on somebody?
Oh yeah, yeah. They got a little thing, everything with the transit stuff. They got their they need a ride, give them a call or something there. And I said, I'll give them a ride. I said, just do the crime. And I said, I'll haul.
And where do you take him to? How far is the jail from here?
12 miles. It's the 3-4 regional jail.
How's the food there?
You know, stuff. It's about like at the house and everything. I mean, they fix them 3 meals a day, and they got breakfast and then they lunch, and then they'll have dinner at the evening.
What does struggling look like here? Like how tough does it get?
It gets pretty tough, and some jobs everything might pay like every 2 weeks and stuff to get by, and it helps a lot in everything getting gas stuff. But then there's some jobs that might not get paid everything like once a month, and you're struggling everything instead of just making gas money just to get through to work the every day and stuff for that month to get your paycheck.
And
Once a month. I thought only like government jobs did that. So you working at McDonald's, you get paid once a month, and you making $8 an hour. I'm quitting too, bro. I'm
what does
quitting
rent go
too.
for around here?
Oh God, it's about $600.
I wonder nobody will got a job.
For how big of a house?
Just a single wide trailer and things.
So this, 12 eggs and like the cheap kind, $3.60 at
Damn.
Walmart or Aldi. That
Well, if they don't go to Aldi, get it at 12 for $1. But you can go right to Aldi.
would be
They
$2.50.
They probably don't
Yeah,
got
this is expensive. Like you're paying as much for these eggs, and these are the factory farmed ones, as you would pay. It's more than what you would pay at Aldi for the pasture raised, the really nice eggs. So, have you noticed the food prices jumping lately? Tell me from your experience.
Yes.
Yeah? What in particular? Is there anything specific that you've been buying that all of a sudden has jumped?
Everything.
How much do you think your grocery bill has gone up?
Oh, I'd say about $200,000-300,000 a month more.
Really? That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
And why do you think that is? It's tough.
Big.
I don't know. I would say because, the area, I would say, because, before we leave in this
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, they probably don't be getting like. Yeah, you gotta think about it in that way too. Like, in the place they live, it ain't trucks coming through there 24/7. So it's like stuff they got, they ain't gonna get it back for a little minute. So it's like they're gonna have to up that price. If they up that price too, you're gonna get it too, because it's like they probably got one grocery store in the whole city. So yeah, it's just tough, man. It's just a butt city.
Guys was so
Terrible
high,
city.
Has your budget also gone up by $200 or $300 a month? Is there any specific food item that you've noticed has jumped?
Eggs is one of it.
milk,
Yeah, hamburgers.
2 or 3 years ago, what could you buy eggs for?
$1.99 or something, $1.50.
I worked at the store for 35 years. Eggs used to go for 99 cents a dozen, 89, 79.
So it's nearly doubled or tripled.
Yeah.
They're almost $4 a 12 for a dozen.
Yeah.
This is also known as one of the poorest counties in the country, right? What to you is rich and what to you is poor? Like how much a year do you have to make or a month do you have to make to be rich, and how much do you have to be making to be
You have to
poor?
make a lot to be rich, wouldn't you? Probably 100,000 a year or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's poor here? Like if you're making under a certain amount, like okay, what's
make a pretty good living, but I'm still poor. I mean, I just live paycheck to paycheck, so.
What's the average cost of rent here?
I heard it's $800 a month.
And what kind of
800 a month?
Probably something you could throw your leg through, or see the wall, or see the ground.
Is that like a 2-bedroom? Is that a trailer? Is that a side-by-side? Is that a...
Dang, 800 is a lot for a butt town like that. Even some butt random town is still 800 a month. Yeah, they out there scheming, bro. I don't know how they scheme like this.
1 bedroom place is that high.
We're here in the beautiful state of Kentucky to dive into the poorest county in America, Owsley County. We actually were here 2 years ago and did a piece, but we just didn't think we did it justice, so we're back to cover it properly. My concern for America is that people are right now. When you are paying $20 for eggs, cheese, and sausage, and cost of rent's going up, your utility bill is going up, wages have stayed stagnant, jobs have gone overseas. Without further ado, folks, Owsley County, Kentucky.
Yeah, man. COVID messed everybody up, bro. It was steadily going up. Then COVID, they made too much money during COVID. Oh yeah, we know we can really charge them.
There's a lot of robberies around here.
Yeah.
You ever have to use it?
Not yet.
That's good.
Not on people anyway.
Okay. What do people do for fun around here?
They ain't much around here too, they tell you the truth.
You don't square dance or do any of that?
They ain't nothing like that around here anymore. They used to be all kinds of stuff, but now they ain't nothing.
How have things been economically with cost of living going up, rent going up, things like that? What has that been like in the area?
It's pretty rough on a lot of it because just ain't got the money to do it. Just like my truck, my step history and me out paying bills, trying to do it. Cost me almost $400 to get it fixed.
To get the truck fixed?
Yeah, that's most of my money right there.
Are there a good amount of jobs around here?
No, ain't nothing.
What are my options?
A dollar store and BP.
If you could talk
A dollar store and BP.
directly to the president, what would you tell him?
I tell them to bring some jobs around here where people have something to do besides that stealing and robbing and.
Bro, the president do be sitting there capping about the jobs they be creating. Like every president say they created jobs, bro. But then everybody be saying they ain't got no job. How that work? Literally every president I seen say they created jobs. Create millions or whatever, or thousands, hundreds of thousands. But everybody don't got one somehow.
A job would give someone something to do besides stealing or robbing?
Yeah. Not get them off all these drugs.
All right. If you're a true American, you want America to be better for everybody. So how do we get there? What's the roadmap? What are the hurdles in our way? And what are some actual solutions that could get us there? I happen to think that with the amount of money going in with taxes into the federal government and state governments every year, you gotta imagine that there's better solutions than what's been going on now. Nice to meet you. Tell people where we are right now.
Right now we're in Boonville, Kentucky, just outside of town.
Boonville sounds like a city from a movie.
It's got something to do with, they say Daniel Boone camped out here, you know.
What is Daniel Boone known for again?
He was like the Cumberland Gap and stuff like that.
Daniel Boone.
Tell the people about Boonville.
Basically, you know, like 98% all white population. Everybody knows everybody.
So this is sundown town. If I come out here, like it's over with. If I ride through this town at 7:30 p.m. on a Tuesday night, am I done for?
Some people call Owsley County the poorest county in America.
Well, yeah, see, I seen your other video on, what was it, McCreary County?
Yeah.
So that was the poorest county, but you know, out here, Owsley County, Lee County.
So it's poor, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's poor.
Is that a reputation that people are aware of or they think about?
No, not really, you know.
To you, what is rich? Like if I make this amount in a year, you're like, I'm good.
But it ain't about money, you know, it's like, you know, your living situation. How you want to live and doing whatever you want to do.
Alright, we'll see you in a few.
Real man right there, real man.
You can tell just by who's shopping at the gas station that meth is definitely an issue in the area. My hunch tells me that fentanyl has creeped in here too. I know that this is kind of middle America, and some of the trends that happen in LA, New York are slow to hit, but fentanyl is pretty much creeped in everywhere now, so I want to explore a little bit more about that. One of the questions in my head is, does poverty cause drug addiction? Like the misery of poverty, you mask it up with drugs, or by getting into drugs, does that cause poverty? Chicken before the egg kind of question. Anyways, we're driving through the beautiful hill country of Kentucky. There's bluffs, there's trees, there's wildlife, the birds are chirping. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into Ozzie County and talk to the locals.
Gage said he had some friends he wanted to introduce us to and to follow him.
Oh,
So we left the
look at
parking
the
lot and hit
yee-yees.
the dusty trail. Here's
These
what
the
happened.
yee-yees. I got a friend named Gage. Well, not a friend, but he used to be my friend's
We've been
big
on
brother.
the road for
My friend
a
Zach.
while now, and this is only a spot that a local could bring you into.
Gage.
They don't bite, they just bark.
My dog's like that too. Come here. Hey, puppy.
Huh? She didn't like
What's her name?
Gracie. That nine, baby.
The little guys are the ones you gotta watch out for with the dog.
Yeah, I run slap over top of that little fella in my car.
Yeah?
We went over him. I mean, there's blood and everything coming out of his mouth.
You said you ran over him?
I was now backed up and turned it back over him.
Yeah. He's doing okay, huh?
Yeah, I give him medicine. Where y'all from?
We're from Milwaukee.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good to meet you. I'm Tommy.
You too. I'm Isaac Bowley.
Isaac, nice to meet you.
You too, baby.
Did you grow up
Why old people always gotta say their full name? Like, bruh.
around here?
I grew up in and out of the county, not right here, but up the Buffalo part of it.
You love it here?
Yeah.
What do you love about it?
I don't know. It seems like you can live here better than you can away. I tried living in Ohio, Indiana, and Michigan, and places like that, but to come down here, it's easier to live in,
Yeah.
you know, stuff. And you don't have as much traffic, and, you know, it's more peaceful.
You seem like a man that wouldn't like traffic.
I don't like it. I come through Atlanta, Georgia one morning, and it was rush hour.
He one of those type of old heads. You get to telling that story. I don't know. You asking one question, you get to tell a story for 2 hours.
Running
You're
100
one of
miles
those.
an hour, and I had a 21-foot trailer behind me, driving a truck like that right there.
You sound like a menace on the road.
I mean, I had to. The man I was riding with, he had a heart problem, but he's having a heart attack, right? And he said he couldn't do it.
If I was in your car driving 100 with you, I'd probably have a heart attack too. I'm kind of a weenie when it comes to high speeds.
Well, if everything's running that fast, and you had to get in the lane over here, and you was in this lane, you had to get past them.
Yeah. So how has this area changed over time? What was it like when you were a kid?
Well, where I was born, up in Upper Buffalo, there wasn't no traffic. There wasn't no cars up in there. I remember the first car I ever seen. It was no about a 50 model Chevrolet truck.
This nigga said he didn't remember the first car. That bro old as shit, bro. That's okay. The first car.
Look around this
That's
landscape.
an
I
old
feel like
ass
this is
nigga.
what America looked like for many, many years before cities ever came to be.
Oh, yeah. Graduated high school and really been working around here ever since.
What do your folks do?
My mom's phlebotomist down here right next to the BP down there.
So if I need some blood, she's who I go to?
Yeah.
I see something went down here.
Yeah, Hoarder's about to come and take all this, bro. You need to, need to clean up his yard, man. Hoarder's not about to play around with you, bro. What is this? Nah, I think this house burned down or something.
That was yours?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Don't know.
Look like a whole bunch of scrap.
3 o'clock in the morning, smoke some out the windows.
You got a mean ex-girlfriend or something?
That's what I was trying to figure out, yeah. I said,
Do you really-
I don't think I made one that mad, though.
What do you think happened?
Just don't know. Just one of them things, I guess.
How long ago did this happen?
2 months ago.
That's a big life event to have your house
Yeah.
burned down.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
I mean, I guess insurance isn't going to cover this.
Banana insurance.
Yeah, that's pretty rough, man.
Yeah.
How did Ozzie change over time? From when you were a kid to now, how did it change?
Well, we've got like a new road, a new 30 coming out of Bayville there, you know. Well, we've got a stoplight down there now, costing like one
He's got a
red.
stoplight.
So when you grew up, there was no stoplight.
No, we just had a flashing costing like that.
Yeah.
What are the pros and cons of a small town?
Oh, well, of course, you got everybody in your business all the time, you know.
Mm-hmm. Is it hard to find a lady to court around here?
You can find plenty of them, but now it's costing what they are.
What do you look for in a woman?
Well, I gave it up. I'm 75 years old.
How long have you given up looking for love?
Since my wife died.
Man,
You know.
I'm sorry to hear that. When was that?
She died when she was 60.
Man, 15 years ago.
Same age?
Yeah, with the same age.
I have to die first. That's what I told my wife. Because I don't think I can.
You know, it's hard. I mean, I lived with it 42 years.
Life can be a lot of love and joy, but it can also be a lot of tragedy.
It can be good or it can be bad, so okay.
Hmm.
If you find a good woman, you found a good thing. But if you find a bad one on you, you find the worst thing in the world.
Sweet Cheeks is a wonderful woman. That's my wife. Shout out to Sweet Cheeks, by the way.
Sweet Cheeks. I
Woman
like
can
Sweet
kill a man,
Cheeks.
run him crazy, I mean, just destroy him.
Mm-hmm. The younger generation, I feel like they're slower to get married, and some of them don't even want to get married. What do you think about that?
I think they're wise not to want to get married.
Why is that?
This is an interesting conversation. Because he was just saying how he felt despair and all this from his wife, but why not get married? Yeah, I mean, I assume he was married.
They always break up within.
And when you
They always
I
break
can't
up.
imagine that, man.
Oh, yeah, I guess he's talking about the new generation.
It's a bad feeling. I mean, it's the worst feeling in the world. It's like a part of you died. I mean, with it.
Do you feel like it's
in a
something?
hole and can't get out. That's what it's. That's an awful feeling.
Do you believe in the afterlife? Do you believe in heaven?
Yeah, I believe we'll meet again.
If I want to date someone around here, what are my options? Where do I go to find them? What
Bro, who's this, bro?
Oh, man.
Tinder?
No, it's
Not Tinder.
No, not around here.
Are people on Tinder?
Sure they are, but they're probably like registered to Lexington or, you know, somewhere where there's more people, you know what I mean?
Do you also have to drive kind of far to find them?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, besides the same old ones around here, you know.
So if you found love, you found a woman, and she said, hey, but you gotta move to
Bro,
Lexington.
Tommy, what are these pictures, bro? What is this? Like, who's this random girl, bro? Like, stop trolling.
Would you do
Who's
it,
this
or you
dude?
say, hey, I want you to live in the country with me?
Yeah, I guess if I lived there, I probably would.
What do you fellas do for fun?
We go fishing or something like that, or, you know, just.
Is there a good creek around here?
All these rivers and creeks, yeah.
What can you catch around here?
You can catch catfish, bass, crappie.
So I noticed in the South a lot that people have a lot of cars on their property. Is everyone just kind of working on a project?
Yeah, most of them, you know, is like parts cars they buy for parts, you know, they'll put the parts they need off that car. And
Okay, so rather than buy, like, say, 3 parts for $1,000, you might buy the whole car for a few $100, and then you can mix and match what you want off of it. So I imagine that people around here are fairly handy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody self-sufficient. Most of them.
And if I wanted to find a job around here, is that hard to do?
Every country like that, bro. They just in there working on cars and shit. But I have heard if you need anything fixed from any country, dude, he got you, right? He got you.
Yeah.
You'd be screwed.
You fix it every trip.
Or, you know, mowing yards. That's what I'm doing right now.
You do some welding as well.
Over.
I went to school for it, yeah.
How far do you have to drive to find a welding job?
At least to Lexington, so
Yeah, at least.
75.
You have to commute that far just for a good job?
Yeah.
So when people say, like, there's just not shit around
An
here,
hour and a
there's not
half?
shit around here for employment, they mean it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Did there used to be something in town and then it went overseas, or has it just always been not that much?
You know, when they done the tobacco
Yeah, it
buyout.
used to be tobacco.
Yeah.
Do you guys still believe in the American dream?
Oh yeah.
And what does that mean to you?
Living free, doing whatever you want, you know. I'd say we probably live pretty close to it as you can get right now.
And what makes this place free?
Being able to get out and, you know, roam around the hills and be outside.
Going back to the whole job thing, so if you don't have a job, what % of people would you say are on the draw?
Pretty high percentage.
Let's talk about rural welfare, which around here people refer to as being on the draw. In Kentucky, about 1 in 8 people live below the poverty line. But when we shift to the more rural Appalachian area of the state, that number jumps to 1 in 5. So to remain afloat and have their basic needs met, many of these families turn to welfare. A family of 3 that qualifies for welfare receives about $524 per month. For many families, of course, this helps, but this is still life on a bare-bones budget that doesn't allow much margin for error. Like, for example, remember the guy earlier this episode that was having trouble with the $400 bill to fix his truck? Yeah, that's a lot of folks around here. The pressures of poverty and the rising cost of everyday living is leading some people to wonder if the American dream is still within reach.
If someone's on the draw, how
$500 for a family of 3? That's it? Come on,
much
bro.
are they getting
You
a
need to go to
month?
that
How
Dollar
much
Tree,
is it
man.
actually
You
help?
behind that register.
Not exactly for sure.
Which hours
on
is it?
amounts. I think it probably varies.
That little $200 a week can help you out,
And how
man.
many
Social
kids?
You need to get the grinding.
Disability, stuff like that.
We just sent $90 billion overseas to fight wars in places that isn't our country. But what do you guys think about that when you see our government send our tax money overseas like that?
Slap in the face, you know.
We didn't get screwed.
Using that money to help us, you know.
If they built a brand new manufacturing plant or two in the area, do you think people would be flocking to sign up for that?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, definitely. At the door you line up.
They'll be fighting.
Be fighting against the
People will be fighting to get a job?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want to draw attention to a pair of tits I see on your arm. Who is that?
That's I don't know who she is.
She has a nice rack, eh?
Yeah.
You asked me what my bucket list was. There it is.
Do your own tattoo?
I've done it, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell people what that means to you.
A big patio point, you know, just a extremely rare thing to find. Probably worth about 10 grand.
The arrowheads on it?
Yeah, that would be worth at least 10 grand.
It's really ain't nothing out here, bro. It's crazy. Like, it's literally nothing. They rich though, whoever that is.
It's a place in America that probably gets forgotten about. You know, it's not hip and trendy. It's not the LAs and New Yorks of the world. People just call it bum or podunk. And so because of that, no one needs to run on a campaign that's going to help this place. Because, well, it's only a few thousand votes. Who cares? As long as I win the cities, I win the election.
You feel like a lot of people suffer from like depression around here?
Oh yeah.
What do people do to get help? Is it just like self-medicating, or is a lot of
Yeah, a lot of
resources?
people do drugs.
What percentage of people you would say are on something?
50 to 65%.
One of the things we're covering is rising cost of living, and groceries are a big part of that. We're at the one grocery store in town. How do you think about the prices here?
A little high.
A little high?
Everywhere you go in America, locals will tell you about the crazy grocery prices. US Today states that the average American family now spends over $1,000 on groceries, and the US Department of Agriculture says grocery prices are up 25% since 2019. Due to crippled supply chains, it was kind of understandable that food prices went up during COVID, but even then it still felt like we were being gouged by grocery stores, and it turns out we were. The Federal Trade Commission released a report that said large grocery store chains exploited product shortages during the pandemic by raising prices significantly more than needed to cover their added costs, and they continue to reap excessive profits. And not only did they gouge us, but we've also now been hit with shrinkflation, which is the practice of items decreasing in size, but they still charge us the same amount. Many people are feeling stretched to a breaking point when it comes to feeding their family, and in a town like this with only one grocery store and no competition on pricing, it is especially tough.
Do you feel like the cost of living has just gone up in the last few years?
Oh, definitely.
Where are you seeing it most?
Groceries, gas, just everything really, you know what I mean?
Do you think
We
more
getting
and more
finessed,
people are
bro.
just stretched?
Purposely
Oh, yeah,
finessed.
definitely stretched thin. $100 bill, you know, is like a 20 used to be, you know what I mean?
Like one thing I've seen from cities to here is like I can go either as cheap as I can, like Aldi and Walmart, or I can go expensive like Whole Foods or fancy shop. But here you got one option to shop. So let's just go walk in and let's look at the prices. A dozen for $4.50. Do you remember? when that
$4.50
used to be
a
like
dozen?
$1 for a dozen only a few years ago?
Oh yeah.
The cheese, $3.09. $5.60. One of the things that happened from the pandemic is like they raised all the prices.
$4.50 for a
so
dozen.
that once things went back to normal, they never raised them back down again.
Right.
When you see corporations having record profits, like what goes through your head right now?
Well, inflation just killing them. That's the bottom line.
Do you know how much you spend on groceries in a month?
$300 to $500.
What do you think needs to happen to make like more people proud to be an American?
I think with the whole immigration ordeal right now, like I think we need to slow way down on that because you know we're letting all these people, I mean they're illegal aliens in, and you know we're.
Man, you ain't got to worry nothing about that, bro. I promise ain't nobody coming to Omaha, Kentucky, bro, or Alley, Kentucky, bro. I promise you nobody want to go there. But that is a big problem, though. I'm just trolling. That shit's a big
Giving them
problem.
all this.
In New York,
they
you're
get
getting trolled.
food stamps and they give them checks every month, and there's American people that are out here starving. You know, homeless veterans. That right there, I mean.
They is getting free housing and all that too.
To me.
To really understand something, you gotta go straight to the source. And to understand drugs in rural America, you gotta talk about meth. So we found ourselves a meth dealer that was willing to talk. This is what he had to say.
We're deep in the Kentucky woods, and I want to learn more about the drugs that are moving through the community. I'm here with. And Jay, what are you in the business in?
Methamphetamine,
he the
Do
plug.
you sell all of those at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. What do customers want? Like, what was the highest seller? What was the lowest seller out of that grouping?
Well, it started out, meth was the biggest seller at first, and then, you know, when the pandemic hit, it transitioned into the fentanyl mostly. Right now, that's what's trending as well.
Fentanyl's taking over the game?
Yeah, that's what everybody wants right now.
What is the cost of fentanyl?
Anywhere from $1,200 to $1,600 now.
What are the quantities that people are picking up, and how much do they pay for that?
Like a 8-ball, $350.
350? What the f?
Meth right now.
Bro, that's crazy, because I could have sworn in another video, I think he was in like Kensington, or something like Kensington, Philadelphia. Bro, they got some fent for like $10. She got a little fent for like $10. He's saying 350. They raised everything up there.
125, 150 an ounce.
How does fentanyl get into a place like Owsley County?
You know, over time it's inevitable, you know, it's just gonna start bleeding over from the cities.
What has been the difference now that fentanyl has entered the game?
There's a lot more overdose deaths.
Do you think most people in this community know somebody that's overdosed?
Absolutely.
From what I understand, there's only one officer, one sheriff in the entire county, so is it pretty easy to get away with selling it?
No, it's not actually. There's a lot of state police, and you know we have a lady sheriff, but you know she's got deputies too.
Okay. In the business of that, are you ever paranoid or sketched out?
Oh, absolutely, you gotta be.
Have you had any close calls, or you ever been caught for doing any of that?
Yeah.
And what happened?
Went to jail. A traffic stop.
Traffic stop, and they found it in the vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. What was that like?
Well, you know, it's pulled over and they've got a dog.
Oh, they had a dog sniffing that car? Yeah, it was over.
They had probable cause of search.
Was your heart racing at this point?
Say I was nervous.
I mean, I would imagine. Do you feel like if there's more opportunities here for people, that they would be less likely to do drugs, and that drugs are kind of just a way to numb yourself if you feel like you don't have a lot of options?
No matter how much opportunity you have around a place, there's always going to be drug addiction no matter what.
That is facts, bro. Drug addiction is in wealthy areas. It's in every level of society, in terms of wealth. Like rich people doing drugs, middle class people doing drugs, poor people doing drugs. So it's like it just depends on the person, honestly.
I guess, is there any stories of that you like to paint people a picture of what you're talking about?
You know, people can be normal, and then after they say do methamphetamine for a while, like it just makes like schizophrenic symptoms and stuff like that. You know, it just really makes them come out. You know.
That sounds like it would be pretty scary to deal with.
Oh, yeah, it can be.
The United States has very high drug addiction issues, from the city to rural and in between. What percentage of this area you think is on some sort of drug?
30 to 40%.
If you want to get clean, what are your options? Are there AA meetings? Is there therapy? Is there rehabilitation? Is there recovery homes? Like,
oh yeah, there's definitely there's rehabs and stuff like that. Yeah, there's not a whole lot.
Shit,
You know,
nobody want to go to.
There is rehab.
How many like people in the area are like working like multiple jobs where they aren't just working one like 9 to 5, where they have to have something just to scrape by? Like, do you feel like people can't get by on just like one job anymore?
Around here, it's harder to get by on just one job.
do most people go into selling drugs simply for the extra income? And on a good month, what can you make?
Of course, that's the main incentive. That's the main incentive, is getting money.
Quantities that you're able to obtain, you know, what kind of money you got to start out with, you know what I mean? If you got a little bit of money going into it, it helps a whole lot. At least enough to buy an ounce quantity of either.
What's the biggest week or month you've ever had in business?
Probably 20 grand.
20 grand?
Yeah.
What did you do with that money?
Well, I ain't got nothing to show for it now.
You pissed it away?
Yeah.
What kind of things did you spend it on?
Well, at the time, a lot of it was spent right back on drugs.
How was being in this business like impact?
So you sold drugs to get money, then you use all your money on drugs. Man, you supposed to be. Oh my gosh, dude. That's why if you're a drug dealer, you're not supposed to be doing drugs, bro. All the top drug dealers, they don't do drugs. They just use that to get that bread. All the top OGs like Fred Hampton and all them. Pablo.
Is there any thoughts that you like to share with people back home?
The only message I have to people back home is to try to put the fentanyl down if you can, you know what I mean? Because eventually, it will get you eventually. If you're f***ing with it all, you are going to die at one point in life.
Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts and your story. And we'll see you in the next part of this episode. We heard a rumor going around town that a female police officer damn near patrolled the entire town by herself. We went to her office to go talk to her. She was a little bit camera shy, but she did say her lieutenant would do an interview. Here's what he had to say.
I'm Tom, I'm here with.
Yeah, shake.
You got a firm handshake. Tell me, what is it like being a deputy in Allegheny County?
It's a pretty good experience. We definitely we get
You
a lot
look
of
like
good,
you got the cop cut and all.
Stuff. To be such a small
Cop
town,
cut, cop face, cop
we
glasses.
get a lot of theft cases, a lot of dope cases.
Cop stance.
For dope, which drug is that?
We get primarily a lot of methamphetamine cases. We do get a lot of marijuana use, but it's not typically something we don't worry about it as much as we do the other.
Do you feel like arresting someone for weed is kind of a waste of time?
Typically, I'll be honest, I don't arrest for weed. I usually write a citation and just seize the marijuana. If it's a very large amount, it kind of puts it into a different scale because it kind of bumps it to like a trafficking case.
Yeah.
To me personally, I've never actually arrested on it. I always just write a citation for it.
Not that I'm in trafficking marijuana, but I just think I feel like of all things you can be put in a cage for, weed is like, come on. Has theft gone up in recent years or has it stayed steady?
I think it's definitely. I think it definitely goes up and down. I think right now it's up a lot. I think one of the leading things of theft is drug use. I think a lot of people, when they start using drugs very heavy, it turns into theft to pay for an addiction.
Yeah. Do you think poverty creates
true.
drug addiction, or drug addiction creates poverty, or it's kind of the same side of the coin?
I definitely think, if anything, I think the drug addiction definitely is the lead to poverty. Before poverty, we lead to drug addiction. You know, I speak to a lot of these people we arrest, and a lot of people we, don't arrest. We just have conversations with them, and a lot of them, whether they're telling the truth to me or not, they don't, I don't know, but they'll always say, I want to get off of it, I just can't, and so it kind of leads them down that path of not being able to stop even if they wanted to. And I think it slowly leads to that poverty level because they're unable to pay for other things, trying to pay for that addiction.
If someone truly wants to get clean,
I agree with that.
That's
Good point.
County for them to explore.
So one of the big things is, especially on these first-time offenders, we always try to give people the opportunity for rehab. We'll send them to a 90-day mandatory rehab.
90-day mandatory? Damn, I'm sick. Luckily, I don't do no meth.
On the first and even second offense.
Luckily, I don't do crack.
The county does.
That's really big.
If it's a mandatory rehab that we put them through, the county will have to take that in. We also have a rehab right here in the county.
What do you had to guess? What do you think the success rate of a 90-day rehab is?
Man, sadly, I'm gonna angle on the low side just because it's not because it doesn't necessarily work or that's not a good rehab. It's just that people don't have the drive for it, and it's hard to conquer that drive in such a short amount of time. It's usually a good refresher, and we definitely see a change in people. In that 90 days, previous to us arresting you, and that 90 days, you will look like somebody we don't even recognize. But, the biggest thing is after that 90-day rehab, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to continue to stay clean? And that's hard. A lot of people think that they can get out of rehab and go back to running with the same crew, and it just 9 times out of 10 doesn't work out.
How has fentanyl changed the game?
We are seeing an incline in overdoses.
Hey, number 1. Where's Ohio? Ohio's number 2. Man, we out here tweaking, bro. Ohio's 3 in cocaine, 8 in heroin. Jeez.
In the past, I'd say year, and a lot of it leads back to fentanyl. We've had people we used to, if we came upon an overdose, we could Narcan somebody 1 or 2 times, and we were able to get them back. Now we're seeing Narcan 9 to 12 times before we're getting a responsive patient back. So, I mean, it's definitely changed the game a lot, and you can't ever tell what it's going to be inside of. We get people who had a guy out a few weeks ago, and he may not have told me the exact truth, but he said all he smoked was a joint, and he ended up overdosing. When they cleaned his stomach, he had overdosed on fentanyl. And so, whenever you look at that it could possibly be in marijuana and stuff, I mean, you never know what it's going to be inside of. You could smoke a joint and overdose.
What is it like carrying that with you? Like, I think a lot of people don't understand what law enforcement see on a day-to-day basis, because you see people on their worst day. You see the fight between the husband and the wife. You see the drunk. You see the person that just overdosed and died. Like, what is it like carrying that all with you?
I guess you just have to always make sure you don't take everything home with you, and try to just remember it's a job. It does get hard. try to always be compassionate to people, and even though we see them on our worst day, a lot of people just see us and always think the very negative of it all, but we try to be compassionate with people and be understanding.
All right, folks, that was Owsley County. I think this is a very important American story to cover. I appreciate the people of Owsley County welcoming us in and sharing their story with us, because we're always thinking about what's the way forward. I wish that place the best. I wish them.
All right, y'all. W video, W Tommy. You know, I'm tired, man. I'm gonna take me a nap. But it was a good video though. Poorest County. What was it? Owsley, Kentucky. Hey, man. It wasn't lying, man. Y'all really poor as shit. Y'all poor as shit. Y'all poor as shit. Hey, man. I'm gonna see y'all later, bro. Peace.